Hey, it's Mr. Johns, and welcome to virtual driving lesson number 3. So far we have covered traffic laws, and we've done some lane changes, talked about intersections, where to stop, following distance, signaling for 5 seconds. So all these things that you should be memorizing, right? So write this stuff down. Let's go ahead and go right here. I don't know where this goes, so let's go check it out. So I have spawned somewhere on the East Coast, and I have turned off traffic, the annoying computerized traffic, and so I just want to cruise through this cute little eastern town with no traffic or people. It's very quiet here. So we're going to go across this bridge. You see I have a double yellow line. Intersections are uncontrolled. So that means no stop signs, no lights. Looks like I am crossing over a river. Yep, a river down there. That's cool. All right. So just, driving around is fun. I have to admit, I am an experienced driver of many years, and I still love driving. So I want to encourage you to take it seriously and be the best and safest driver you can. I think some people just think driving is a way to get from point A to point B. My wife feels totally that way, and that's okay, right? But I'm usually the one that drives when we go places because I love it. Like, she can read in the car, I can't. She can take a nap in the car, I can't. I would rather be driving. So, all right, so my speed here is 15. I'm going way too slow. I'm going to stay to the right. Looks like this is the main road. Try to get my speed up just a little bit near 30. It's probably 35-ish out here, 40 maybe, but so again, kind of getting, this is our third drive, getting comfortable with the vehicle again, checking my rear view mirror once in a while, looking around, making sure we're good. And then, in every environment, and this one's pretty, there's nice bushes and trees, this is looks really nice. So there's a lot of scenery to look at, but don't get distracted, right? So take it in, but focus on the road. So there are so many things that can jump out at you in different environments, and so this is not a city, so I don't expect car doors to open and things like that. It's not a neighborhood. I don't expect little kids to run across the street or a basketball or soccer ball to roll across the street. But what could I be looking for while I'm here? Certainly deer, maybe bear, squirrels, who knows, wildlife, right? So wildlife I would expect out here. And so, what can you do? You can't go 5 miles an hour just because there might be wildlife, but you should keep your eye open. So I'm looking for movement, even though this simulator probably doesn't have that much detail of a deer jumping across the road. But in real life in Idaho, it happens, right? People hit deer all the time, like by the thousands. It's ridiculous, and it can cause a lot of serious damage. Now, if it's an elk or a cow, it can cause damage to you, and it actually can cause fatalities. So this is a great drive. I haven't done this one before. I'm enjoying it. Still going about 30 miles an hour. Looks like I have a recommended speed of 25 to the right. So remember, you'll hear me talk out loud as I drive, and you notice that my eyes are mostly on the road, even though I'm talking to you. I try to look up once in a while, but my eyes need to be on the road, and once in a while I glance at my speedometer, which I'm going like 20. I'm going to apologize again for that. So I usually take pride in the fact that I can stay really close to the speed limit, and I'm right on, have a good feel for that. But with my keyboard, okay, this is a stop sign. I'm going to come to a stop, and I'm going to go right. So what do I do at a intersection like this? So I'm going to look left, right, left, and go when it's clear. Okay, closest lane to you. All right, so let me get focused here a little bit. Keep going. So here's a line that I could pass somebody. If it's dashed on my side, that means now I can't. Now it's double yellow. If it's dashed on my side, I can pass a slow car, right? If it's double yellow, you can't. No one can pass, right? If it's dashed on their side, they can pass. And so, the road engineers design it so that when it's not safe to pass, they make it double yellow. But you'll still see people do crazy things and pass where they shouldn't. Even if it's legal, they take chances passing. And to me, not worth it. I mean, you are going the wrong way head on in the other lane for 30 seconds or so. Pretty scary. So not worth it. You know, and I drive a lot, so if I'm behind a slow vehicle, you know, the law says, here's another law, if a car is holding up 3 or more vehicles, they have to pull over and let those vehicles by. Okay, 3 or more vehicles. All right, I have a nice view of the ocean here on the left. It's lovely. So if I'm behind an RV and they're slow, you know, there will be slow vehicle pullouts, and I'm hoping that they'll take those. And a lot of times they do. They'll slide over and let cars go by. But there's also some passing lanes once in a while, and so your road will split into 2, typically on a hill. So I know the roads around here and around Idaho pretty well. So I know that, hey, in 5 or 6 miles there's going to be a slow vehicle turnout, or there's going to be a passing lane. So, you know, they do that on purpose. So every so often you have a chance to pass slower vehicles or pull over if you are the person who is slowing down traffic. All right, hey, so let's talk about the things on my list, which are parking and turnabouts. Okay, so a highway is not a great place for a turnabout, any kind of turnabout, right? So it's just not super safe. If I realized I am going the wrong way, like, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wait until I find someplace like this, and I am going to boop, check left, right, left, and go back the other direction. Okay, so my mouse, I've changed my view. Haven't figured out that view thing yet. All right, so, you know, that's the easiest and safest way to do it, right? Find a place to pull over and then turn around. If you can't find any place, you know, I'll go ahead and demonstrate the types of turnabouts, but just to remind you, a highway is not the place to do it. Now, if you know there's nobody on the highway and it's a nice straight, long straightaway, I just passed a dirt road. So I need to start paying attention to dirt roads. So there's not a whole lot of room on the right side here, but let's say, oh shoot, I left the stove on at my house back there, and so I really need to go back. So I could pull over. Okay, so I'm off the road, and if I could do a U-turn, I mean, again, it's kind of risky, but you're going to look over your shoulder, check your mirrors and look over your shoulder, and this is pretty, you know, if someone's going 50 miles an hour on that hill, that's not a great place. It's even hard to pull out. So remember, I'm going to check my inside mirror, outside mirror, over my shoulder, and I'm really going to be watching my mirrors and over my shoulder, and I'm going to pull out and get my speed up quicker than probably normal because this environment, okay, because it's like a 50 zone. So that was not safe, not a safe place to do a U-turn and turn around. So sometimes it is okay to make a safer choice and look for somewhere else to turn around. If my stove is on in my house, I might just have to pull over and call somebody at home and see if they'll go turn the stove off, or check, and they'll say, nope, stove's off. Okay, I don't know, for some reason I thought I left it on. For whatever reason, you have to turn around and go the other way. So because I am on a highway, it's pretty tough to practice turnabouts. And there's a road, I could have done something there, and there's another road, I could have done something there. So I'm going to pay a little bit more attention. And there's a road, but that's not the direction of the road that I would like. All right, so when we talk about turnabouts, the U-turn is just one movement, and you just crank your wheel left or right and turn all the way around and go back the other direction. Okay, but the car has to be able to turn the entire way, so the road has to be wide enough for you to turn all the way. Okay, so that's a U-turn. A two-point turn is when you back into a driveway or a road, and that's one reason I was saying I was going to look for a road. And I'll see, here's one right here. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to make sure no one's behind me. And so I'm going to look in my rearview mirror. Cool, no one's there. All right, so I'm going to turn to the left, and then that's step one. Step two is back up into this driveway. Now I'm off the road, out of the way of traffic, okay? So, but you notice that for a second I was stopped in traffic. So that's why you have to make sure highways aren't great for this. Make sure that there's no traffic. So step 1 is you turn to the left. Step 2, back into this driveway or road or whatever. Step 3, I'm going to look for traffic, left, right, left, and I'm going to pull back out and go the other direction. Okay, that is a 2-point turn. So it's basically 1 across the road, 2 back in. Okay, all right. So the difference between a 2-point and a 3-point is this. And let me just pick a dangerous spot right here. So let's say I've got to turn around, and I'm going to go step 1, I turn and stop. Now here's, well, stop. Okay, here's why it's dangerous. I am stopped and I'm in the middle of the road. So you have to do it quick. You have to make sure there's no traffic. Step 2, I'm going to crank it and go all the way as far as I can. Step 3, I'm going to crank it left and get back in my lane. So that's a 3-point turn. So really the only difference is I'm not backing into a driveway. Whereas 2-point turn, you're basically just backing in, pulling out. Okay? And I can do that again right here. Backing in, pulling out. Backing in. 1 point, 2 point. Okay? 2 steps, really. 2 steps. Okay? All right, so, and then a U-turn. See, I couldn't do a U-turn on this road. It's not wide enough. There's no way. It's going to turn into a 3-point turn. So if you're like, oh, I just got to turn around, let's do a U-E. No, it's not going to happen. So there's step 1, step 2, and crank it. Step 3. You can do that pretty quick, you know. But just remember that that's the most dangerous one. You are stopped in the middle of traffic. And then let me show you this. Instead of backing in, let's go ahead and pull in. Even safer. Look at this. I'm not even in traffic at all. So instead of backing in, I went nose first. And then I can back out. Like this. And go back the other way. Okay? So those are ways to turn around and go the other way. If you can use a driveway or an alleyway or something like that, do so. If you have to do a 3-point turn, you have to. But really, it's best to try to figure out how not to have to be stopped in traffic. All right. So those are ways to do turnabouts. Okay. U-turn, 2-point turn, 3-point turn. All right, next, parking. Now, I am nowhere near an intersection, a parking lot. So I should have signaled right there. So right signal, right signal. Let's try that again. Rewind. Okay. Okay, focus. All right, and I have some damage to my car. All right, so my blinker's on. Left, right, left. I have totally lost focus now. And I'm going to turn right to the closest lane to me. Wow, man. Okay, bad. All right, and we're going to see if I can find a parking lot. The 3 types of parking that we want to focus on. Angled parking, which is the easiest. Straight parking, which is a little harder. And then parallel parking, which, I don't know, they consider it the hardest, but it's really not. Every time we do parallel parking in driver's ed, which by the way we don't do all the time, you probably won't even do it. You can ask your instructor if you're going to be practicing it, but every time I've taught it and we go through the steps, everybody says, that's it? That was it? Super easy. By the way, you can grab a couple trash cans and go to a public private parking lot, like a church parking lot, someplace where you can drive legally. Right now, anybody can drive in a private parking lot. So you can go to a church parking lot, set up some trash cans, and practice with a parent doing some parallel parking. Remember, you can't practice driving on the street without your permit, which your driving school has. Okay, so I'm going to get my speed up a little bit. Let's say that it is 45 here. Awesome. I can say that because it's a game. So it's 45, and I'm going to get my speed up just a little bit. And I'm hoping I can buzz down into town, but I don't really know where town is. I'm going to try to find a parking lot and practice some parking. And so, and if not, I'll just explain it. And there's material in the presentation in the class that talks about this anyway. I was just going to kind of show you. So angled parking spaces are probably like the ones, well, I can't really say that. They're not in specific places, but they're the ones where the lines are angled, and literally you just signal and slide into a spot, right? Your goal is always to, that is not a parking lot, your goal is to always end up an equal distance from both lines. And if there's a car on both sides, let's go ahead and turn right here. I don't know what's coming up, but maybe it's a parking lot, maybe it's town. I think it's town. That's great. So I don't have this map memorized. Yep, this is town. Sweet. Maybe there's some parking we can do in town. It's got to be a parking lot. Oh, yeah, I think so. So let's go. Let's go right. I haven't explored. Oh, so this is a different kind of parking. This is curb parking. And so we talked about that like on the second drive. You have to be how many inches from the curb? 18. You have to be 18 inches or closer from the curb. Okay, and yes, you have to signal mirrors over the shoulder, go to pull out. All right, so I guess that is another type of parking, but that is so easy, it's ridiculous, so I didn't really include that. Hopefully this town has something other than just curb parking. So what I need is a true parking lot. That might have been one. So there's a church. Maybe they have a parking lot. Let's go ahead and turn this way. It's so cool, like just driving and not being in a racing game, because typically when you're playing something like this, you are lights green, I'm going to turn left, you are racing and just going fast and crashing and making all kinds of craziness. So this town so far does not seem to have a parking lot where a person can oh, what's that over on the right? Where a person can practice parking. This might be a parking lot. What is it? What is it? Okay, coming around the corner. What's it going to be? Oh, a street. Oh, there's a gas station. Oh, I see some straight parking spots over the gas station. I'm going to turn left. My light's green. Awesome. I'm going to crank it around, stay on the right side of the yellow line. I'm going to keep my blinker on or put it back on again. And I'm going to turn in. Yes. Okay, sweet. So, okay, here we have some straight. These are straight. They're not angled. All right, so the reason these are not the easiest is because let's say there's a Ferrari parked. Let me use my mouse. There's a Ferrari parked here and a Maserati parked there and a Corvette parked there, and I've got this one spot. Whew, man, pressure, right? So what you want to do is signal to the left and swing as wide as you can. Ooh, that was a little bit wider than I wanted to. It's fine. It's fine. There's no stress. But see, if I would have done that perfectly, I could have made that in one movement. But I'm going to go ahead and do it in two movements because you know what? I don't want to hit that Ferrari or that Maserati. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Look at that. Okay, so let's take a look how I did. Oh, there's my damage from a previous incident. All right, so that's a great parking job. So you want to be fairly parallel to the white lines, and you want to be fairly equal distant from both lines. And so, you know, unfortunately, parking spaces are pretty narrow, and when you open your door, you know, if people just open their door, it will hit the car next to them. I never understood that, why we don't make the parking spots wider. So with my car, I don't want door dings, and so I'll go park someplace over there, like and walk. So it just is what it is. All right, so let's go ahead and back out. I'm checking my mirrors and looking behind me, and there's nobody back here. So I'm going to show you one more thing with straight parking. So it is not a bad idea to back in. All right, so your goal is, this is really tough because I can't see how I normally would. All right, so I'm going to do my best. The angle, oh, maybe I could change my angle. Oh, look at the windshield's broken. That was terrible. Oh, I know what I can do. I can rotate my mouse. Oh, there we go. Okay, just weird, right? It's not a real car. All right, so you line up so that your car is parallel to the parking spot, and you simply slide into the spot and come to a stop. Okay, so the nice thing about that, oh man, the nice thing about that, so I go in and I get my drink and my candy bar. I come back out, get in my car. All I have to do is pull out, right? That's pretty sweet. Okay, so there's an advantage to backing in if you want to take the time to do that. All right, so I don't know if I'll be able to find angled spots. All right, light is green. I'm going to go ahead and go straight. I'm going to change my view just a little bit. Okay. Let's go right at this next street. You know, I could wander the town looking for angled spots. Oh, this is a tight corner. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. All right. So let's go left, left, other left. Yes. Okay. So uncontrolled intersections like this one, no one has the right of way. It's kind of like whoever gets there first goes first. It's like a four-way yield, really. So you'll see those all over your town. So we're going to go right. Again, whoever gets there first goes first. But look, left, right, left. And I see something that looks like a big parking lot maybe right here. Let's go check this out. No. Again, disappointed. Wah, wah, wah. I don't know what it is. It's like some kind of factory. Oh, and I'm going to get stuck back here. So let's back her out of here. All right, so I wish I could just get out and draw some lines on the pavement. So we have more straight spots with, ooh, electric chargers. That's kind of cool, although my truck is not electric. So, all right, so an angled parking spot is when you would, the lines would be like this, and you simply signal and you slide in. You know what I'm talking about, right? And it looks like that. It's angled. They're all super easy. You don't have to swing as wide. The straight ones you have to swing wide, and then parallel parking. I'm not going to be able to find two things to park between. There's animations and some examples in the course to show you that. So we have covered parking, and we've covered some turnabouts. Had some fun driving around in eastern United States. And hopefully you are having fun in the course. If you have any questions, of course, text me, email me, call me, so I can help you understand things a little bit better. And I'm having fun doing this. I'm going to keep driving, I think. I will make another video for Unit 4, so watch for that. And I will see you soon.